Welcome in, everyone. Welcome back to the Twin Russell Pod. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Hey, listen. Today, we're going to be talking about our top 10, or my top 10 moments of the top 10 best moments of AEW, right? So, I got a list of 10 things that I think was the best things for AEW in the year of 2024. Without further ado, man, let's get into this video. No long-winded talking points as much, but I feel like we have some good things on the list. And coming in at number 10, I got AEW signing with Warner Bros. Discovery on a new multi-million-dollar deal to have AEW streamed on Max and its regularly simulcast streaming platforms, whether it's TNT and TBS, and continuing to have AEW Dynamite on TBS and Collision on Saturdays on TNT, and both shows will be on HBO Max as well. I thought that was a huge gift for Tony Khan in the year 2024. I don't know the internal details of the numbers. I don't think no one knows the numbers. I'm sure Sean Rossat probably knows the numbers, but I don't know the details of that. But I think that's just a huge win, man, to sign a multi-million-dollar deal on a platform such as Max, continuing to be broadcast on TNT and TBS. That's a huge win over multiple years, starting literally January 1st, tomorrow, man. So those of you who have HBO Max, you will be able to get the pay-per-views at a discounted price through your subscriptions through HBO Max. So that's a good win for you, and you're able to stream AEW Dynamite pretty much for free. You gotta pay for a subscription, of course, of HBO Max, but with all that entailed, you do get all those pay-per-views at a discounted price. You are able to watch Dynamite on Wednesdays and Collision on Saturdays. Now the ball is in Tony Khan's court, to where he's gonna have to put on banger show on top of banger show. At the beginning of 2024, they did that. Like, they was on a roll from like January to like April, but that could have played a part in the whole WrestleMania build-up, right? Wrestling always get a boost when it's WrestleMania season, the beginning of the year, because WWE runs Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania. That whole thing, the build-up to WrestleMania, bolsters it's a good thing for all wrestling platforms, whether it's independent or the competition, and vice versa. Ring of Honor, or Ring of Honors with AEW, TNA, any independent show you see, they all get bolstered off that WrestleMania, build-up. So hopefully Tony Khan at the start of January 1st can put on banger shows. Their problem with all AEW products has not been their match quality, it's their storylines for the most part, and things are making sense. So let's hope this year with the multi-million-dollar deal with the Warner Bros. Discovery and being able to stream on Max, you get those potential viewers, those casual fans, to be like, okay, let me get these numbers and let me check out this product, because I'm hearing this word of mouth. So we'll see what the numbers will be. I don't think the ratings will play a part of it anymore, because you're on a streaming platform. So a lot of people got matched at the end of the day. So I thought this was a huge win for Tony Khan and AEW, and wish them much success going into 2025, man. I thought this was a huge, tremendous win by Tony Khan and AEW. So that's what I'm going to talk about when it comes to the number 10 spot. Coming in at number 9, we have Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale at AEW All Out 2024. I think this was if I remember, this was like the street fight, or I don't think it was a non-sanctioned match, but this was a great match between these two. We're going to get on Willow Nightingale once we get further into the countdown of 2024 for AEW. But these two had a tremendous matchup. They program started back at Double or Nothing, where Chris Statlander turned on Willow Nightingale after her match for Mercedes Moné, where she lost the TBS championship. And this started a program where her and Stokely half the way going at Willow Nightingale. This all proceeded to go up towards go through All In, where I think it was Stokely and Chris Statlander taking on Ishii and Willow Nightingale, where they ended up beating Ishii and Nightingale ended up beating Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale. And for the majority of the part of their feud, Willow Nightingale pretty much got the upper hand on Chris Statlander for the majority of the time, really, whether it be in matches, brawls, or whatever. And this match, man, they went all out. They had the best match. Doing my review of All Out. I said they had probably the best match on the show on that whole entire card. They were just that good. If not the best match, at least the top two or top three. They was one of the main reasons to watch AEW All Out 2024. I just wanted to showcase and spotlight their match because I thought these two women did wonderful work with their short time with their feud that they had. After this feud, Kris Statlander, which I didn't like, she turned back into being a babyface, and now within the past couple weeks, Kris Statlander went up to Willow Nightingale, and I think wished her luck in one of her future matches or something like that. So these two are leaning towards becoming friends again, but for the little time we did have a feud, it was good for what it was, and it was a good breath of fresh air for Kris Statlander being a heel, and Willow Nightingale is the best babyface in the women's division, in my opinion. But coming in at number 9, man, we had Kris Statlander taking on Willow Nightingale, so I wanted to showcase that because I thought that was one of the best moments of AEW in 2024. Coming in at number 8, we have Bryan Danielson. The kicker of 2024, Bryan Danielson, his whole year of 2024 has been a roller coaster, bro. From injuries to banger matches, drama within the BCC here and there, and one of the best storyline endings you will ever see in pro wrestling. And one of the reasons you want to watch pro wrestling is what happened for Bryan Danielson at AEW All In 2024. He had matches with I think he had like 2 matches with Okada. He had 3 overall. He had one at Wrestle Kingdom, I believe, and then he had one, I think, on a regular Dynamite or something like that. But he had 2 matches with Okada this year. He had a banger match at Dynasty with Will Ospreay. It was probably up there for a match of the year. It's banger match with Will Ospreay. He had a banger match with Swerve, which is one of the greatest matches this year in my opinion. And he ended up winning the AEW World Championship. He didn't want to win the AEW World Championship, but Tony Khan wanted him to be in the history books as one of the past members of the AEW World Championship lineage. So we did that, and what a way to go out, man. Storyline booked, matchup with him and Swerve at All In. He wins the match, made Swerve tap out. He gets in the ring with his wife and his children, and they send the crowd home happy in England, man. He had a match with Nigel McGuinness that we didn't think we'd get at all. We got that for the first time in like 20 years on Random Dynamite, which is crazy, but they ended up still having a good match. Danielson this year had so many good matches, which is not a surprise, being it's Bryan Danielson. We know what he's capable of in that ring. He's one of the better storytellers in pro wrestling. He's this generation's you can name a list. He's this generation's Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, whatever you want to say. But he's the best wrestler of this generation. But Bryan Danielson definitely deserves a spot in the top 10 of AEW of 2024. Coming in at number 7, we have Willow Nightingale. And I love this pitch so much because Willow Nightingale is the quintessential babyface. Like, you cannot hate this woman. She's so lovable, bro. Like, her demeanor, the way she carries herself, she's always smiling no matter what it is, no matter what the case is, no matter what's happening. She's always smiling. She's very great in the ring, and her promos, from where she started in the AEW to now, her promos are immaculate, man. It fits her character very, very well. And whatever situation she in, she can make the most out of it. I love Willow Nightingale. She's one of the best women in the AEW's women's division, in my opinion. And she should be going into 2025 AEW World Women's Champion at some point. This year, she started off teaming with Kris Statlander a lot in a lot of tag team matches where they either face like Anna Jay or like Sky Blue, this or that, and so forth. She didn't really start picking up steam until like really March 27th of this year. And from there, she took off like a rocket, bro. Like, the crowd was behind her 110%, to the point where she beat Julia, I think it was at Dynasty, for the TBS Championship. And her run as TBS Championship, when we knew she was going to be going against Mercedes Moné, she was killing Mercedes Moné in her promo exchange. Didn't they hold a bill, bro? To the point to where I was like, man, I want Willow to win, bro. Like, I want Willow to retain the championship at Double or Nothing, but she didn't retain it. She lost it to Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing. But still, within all that, she was still one of the best women in the AEW Women's Division, bro. You had to give Willow her flowers, bro. My God, she was awesome this year, man. And then I just referenced it earlier in the countdown, her match with Chris Statlander at All Out 2024. Another awesome match. And I think recently she just beat the returning Jamie Hayter, who returned in All In 2024. She just beat Jamie Hayter, I think, on an episode of Collision or Rampage. I don't know. I don't watch Rampage or Collision anymore. But Willow Nightingale, man, has been killing it in 2024. I think big things are on the horizon for her in 2025. I see the AEW World Women's Championship in her future for sure, man. So I just wanted to give a shout out and flowers to Willow Nightingale, one of the best women in AEW and who belongs on this list for top moments of AEW of 2024. Willow Nightingale. Coming in at number 6, we have Hangman Adam Page. Now, this stuff dates back all the way to 2023 when he started his feud with Swerve, their infamous Texas Death Match where, my God, gruesome sight, where Hangman busted Swerve open and he drunk Swerve's blood and spit it out. Their death match was insane. But to go from that and lose to Swerve as much as he did, to the point to where it broke him and he had a character shift, and he came back in 2024 with the shaved beard and just the mustache. The dark cowboy character was awesome. I love his character work, bro. Like, this man Swerve broke in his house, he really broke this man mentally to the point where he came back and he wanted to kill Swerve, but make sure Swerve didn't achieve his goal of becoming AEW World Champion by any means necessary. To the point where they had the triple threat match at Revolution with him, with Hangman, Joe, and Swerve. And Hangman intentionally did not want Swerve to win a championship, so he lost the match just so Swerve couldn't win a championship. His character work is crazy, to the point where he burned down Swerve Strickland's childhood home. And then he finally, at his up and comings, and he finally won against Swerve at All Out 2024. Even with the needle spot, and that steel chair to the head. Oh my God, that chair shot was fucking crazy. Just the whole booking of Hangman this whole year has been great. I love this character. He was the greatest character in the men's division by far. To where even the Butts wanted him to be on their team, and he was apprehensive, like, no, I don't want to deal with that right now. I'm just going to join this match because Swerve is in this match. That's the only reason I'm in this match. The Blood and Guts match, steel cage, right? Then you get towards the end of the year, he was so good at his character work to the point to where I think AEW might have dropped the ball. It might be too early to predict that, but I think they might have dropped the ball by not having him win that world championship once. Swerve lost it to Bryan Danielson. Hangman should have beat Danielson, and he should have held that championship to when probably in the present day now. And he ended up losing it to Swerve. Just to tie that knot on the end of their rivalry, man. But as of now, Hangman, it was just recently in the Fatal 4-Way at World's End where he lost against Moxley, Orange Cassidy, and Jay White. So MVP in terms of character work for 2024 is Adam Hangman Page. I have to put him on this list because I loved everything this guy did in terms of his character. To switch from the cowboy shit to the dark cowboy character, like a Darth Vader cowboy character. Awesome change. So my number 6 spot goes to Adam Hangman Page. Number 5, we have Adam Hangman Page's arch rival and Swerve Strickland. Now, when Swerve Strickland got to AEW, he was pretty much put in a tag team with Keith Lee, and Swerve and Our Glory was born, and they won the tag team championships back in like 2021, 2022, around that range. And then after that, he proceeded to go heel and just pretty much like lose. I ain't gonna say lose his mind, but brighten his horizons. He started the Mogul Embassy, and after that, Swerve just catapulted, really. He made it his goal to become the first ever black AEW World Championship. Changed his demeanor, changed everything about himself. Became much more grimier, much more menacing, and that came with a anything means approach to becoming AEW World Champion. And he did anything in his power to make that goal happen. And now we transfer to 2024, where he started his program with Adam Hangman Page at the end of 2023, to where he broke into this man's home, held his infant child, and recorded it and sent it to Hangman Page, to the point where he broke this man. He just started catching steam at Dynasty in 2023 in his home state. It might have been in Tacoma, Washington, actually, where they did Dynasty. And from there, he beat Hangman, his first big win, beating a big guy in a prime position in AEW. Because at that point, Swerve was beating mid-card to upper mid-card talent. And then his first win over Hangman Page put him on the map. And from there, his stock just completely rose. Until we get into 2024, where he organically is just the man, the biggest babyface in AEW. To the point where he won his first AEW World Championship and become the first AEW World Championship who is a black man, by defeating Samoa Joe at Dynasty. He went on to carry that championship all the way up until All In 2024, where he lost to Bryan Danielson. But in the meantime, with that championship, he had a banger match with Samoa Joe. He had a banger match with Kyle Fletcher that first night at Daly's Place. He looked very good with that championship. Joe looked very good around him. Banger match with Kyle Fletcher. His match at Forbidden Door with Will Ospreay is one of the best matches of 2024. If you don't have it in your list, you're sadly mistaken. Had a banger match with Bryan Danielson to lose the championship, and to have another banger match with Adam Hangman Page at All Out 2024. Man, and then to wrap it up, have another banger match with Bobby Lashley at Full Year 2024. Swerve's 2024, he has one of the best risers to go from released by WWE, go to AEW, go on a tag team, build his own character, do his due diligence on his character work to become a much more menacing and dark character, and catapult himself into main event top tier light, where he's featured and where he's mentioned with all these other top tier guys and other companies, to the point to where you want to see him face a Roman Reigns, face a Seth Rollins, face a CM Punk. So shout out to Swerve, man. He belongs in the top 5 of the best moments of AEW. He's one of the best things doing in AEW as of today. I'm excited to see what his 2025 will hold. But shout out to Swerve for doing this thing, man. Give that boy his flowers, man. He's killing the game, bro. Coming in at number 4, we have Will Ospreay versus anybody. Will Ospreay officially signed with AEW in November 2023. He didn't make his official debut as a contracted wrestler for AEW until AEW Revolution on March 3rd, 2024, where he had his first match with Konosuke Takeshita. And everybody talks about his infamous suplex bump in the corner that they took. They were, I think Takeshita almost, one of them almost got murdered. I don't remember, it's been so long ago, but that's all you heard, right? Was his infamous bump in the corner from a suplex or whatever it was, like a brain buster or something. But Will Ospreay, man, has been killing it, bro. He's had banger matches on top of banger matches. Like Sheamus always says, banger after banger. That's what Will Ospreay is. But are we surprised by that? Will Ospreay has been one of the best wrestlers. He is the best wrestler in this current era today. Will Ospreay is the guy, man. To go to having banger matches with Konosuke Takeshita. He had banger matches with Kyle Fletcher, back-to-back matches with Kyle Fletcher. He putting guys over. This is the type of guy you want to be your world champion. He put Swerve over at Forbidden Door. Let's go to the backstory of why he put Swerve over at the Forbidden Door. Everybody to the build-up when he signed with AEW said when Swerve won the championship, Swerve's gonna lose that championship to Will Ospreay. The kind of guy Will Ospreay was, like, no, we ain't feeding to that. I want Swerve to beat me, just so he can have that credibility to be like, okay, yo, Swerve is the real deal, right? He didn't think, he thought that much about Swerve to put him over. He's the champ. That's the guy. And for y'all to discredit him by saying I'm gonna come in here and beat him only with 3 months of me officially competing in AEW, no. So shout out to Will Ospreay for that. Will Ospreay versus Danielson at Dynasty. We just had Will Ospreay versus Okada for the first time in a long time at World's End. Will Ospreay versus Ricochet. Will Ospreay versus MJF. Well, I can go on and on and on. This guy Will Ospreay is fucking amazing, but we should not be surprised. I don't think no one is surprised by how great Will Ospreay is and his rightful place in the top 5 of AEW, because he is the top babyface in AEW at this point in time. His 2025 outlook is going to be great. He can get a good match out of anybody. So I'm excited to see what Will Ospreay is going to do in 2025. I believe AEW World Championship is in his future sooner rather than later. 2025 being around the corner, so he will be AEW World Championship in a matter of time. But salute to Will Ospreay for doing this thing. Keep doing your thing, man. Interested to see where 2025 takes you. Now, let's get on to number 3. Sting's retirement match at AEW Revolution. Sting and Darby versus the Butts. March 3rd, 2024. On the October 18th, 2023 edition of AEW Dynamite, Sting made an announcement to the fans in Texas. I think it was Rolado, Texas at the time. And he was saying how he came to this word retirement. He gave flowers to everybody who paved the way for him, whether it was Hogan, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, Lex Luger, traveling up and down the road with Lex Luger, the Steiners, Buff Bagwell, all those guys he mentioned. And he was saying, why did those guys stay as long as they did? They stayed as long as they did because the generation ahead of them, the roar of the crowd, the smell of the arena, riding up and down the roads with the guys, the superstars, the wrestlers, becoming a family, building that bond. And he said all this to say that he comes to this one word, retirement. And he said when he did his retirement back in 2015 at the Hall of Fame, that wasn't really a retirement. It didn't sit well with him because he didn't really get to retire on his own terms. And he said the one thing he said about that retirement that everybody remember is the only thing about Sting is nothingness for sure. And he made this a point to say at this retirement speech that this time the only thing about Sting is I'm going to retire at AEW Revolution 2024. Being that his first match was at AEW Revolution 2021, it's only fitting that he end his career at AEW Revolution 2024. And there's much speculation who Sting's last opponent was going to be. A lot of speculation on the internet. But it ended up being the Butts. And Sting personally wanted to face the Butts at Revolution. And I'm going to tip my hat to Tony Khan for booking Sting, doing the right things. WWE did get wrong when booking Sting, when Sting was there. For the little time he was there in WWE, Tony Khan booked Sting favorably. He gave him the proper send-off that WWE couldn't give him. So shout out to Tony Khan for that one. He put him with Darby. What a way to get Darby over by being with the icon Sting. Right? Did that. Gave him a proper send-off. Sting did all these crazy things during his AEW career. Jumping off balconies, jumping off ladders. Who can forget that damn ladder bump he took? I think it might have been at Forbidden Door where he damn near knocked himself out. He cut himself on the forehead. I was like, Jesus Christ, Sting, too old for this, man. But that's the new life that Darby breathed into him. That's some of the positives, right? That Darby breathed into him. And with the go to this match, had a proper send off, have his kids come out there with him and his old gear, Surfer Sting, Wolfpack Sting, and go out there. That match against the Butts was fucking awesome. Minus the Darby spot of him jumping up the ladder into that last, which was idiotic. But minus that match was fucking flawless. Just a great send off. It rivals the send off WWE gave Ric Flair when he retired. But now Sting takes that rightful place as the greatest retirement send off any wrestler could have at AEW Revolution. So if you didn't watch that match or nothing, or the build up from October 18th, 2023 to March 3rd, 2024, you should go back and go watch it. But man, Sting's retirement match at Revolution was awesome. What a send off, man, to win the championships with Darby with his kids in the ring and then make a speech after air. Awesome, man. Wonderful way to go down in history and ride off into the sunset. So Sting earned his rightful place in the top 3 of my top 10 best moments of AEW 2024. Coming in at number 2, Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page. Now, this feud is the best feud in AEW history. It had so many layers to this story. To start, what we got in 2023, Swerve taking it on his own, developing his character, and being his own man, doing what he wants, and just bridging that character off into another stratosphere, and how it affected Adam Page, and it brought his character on a decline to where it affected his personal life. Kind of like the point to where his drinking was when he first won an AEW World Championship, but on a more superior level. At this point, this obsession with Swerve Strickland drove him insane enough to where his wife and his children left him and kicked him out the house. Pretty much he was on his own. He's a loner. That's what birthed the dark cowboy character. To have their match at Dynasty in 2023, Full Gear in 2023, where Swerve got the upper hand on Page and beat him, and then Page's character goes on a decline. Then he returns, have the match at Revolution, triple threat match, to the point to where he don't want to see Swerve win it, so he intentionally loses that match against Samoa Joe and Swerve, just so Swerve couldn't get that championship. And then his descent into madness, where he just want to get his hands on Swerve and do everything in his power to take all the power from Swerve that Swerve has garnered at the time Hangman was gone. Was awesome storytelling by Tony Khan and AEW. This is the greatest story that AEW has told, greatest feud so far in the 5 to 6 year infancy of AEW. So Swerve Strickland and Hangman Page definitely earn a spot on the top 10 list to where we are currently. Hopefully AEW ties this loose end and we get these two back in the ring, this time for the AEW World Championship. Man, it's gonna be awesome. So Swerve and Hangman definitely earn their spot in the top 2 of my best moments of 2024 for AEW. Now, let's get on to number 1. Toni Storm versus Mariah May. Now, 2024, when Toni Storm lost her championship and won it and became Timeless Toni Storm, awesome character work. I think she's the best woman. She's the best women's performer all year 2024. For her to go from Timeless Toni Storm and her to bringing her protege in, Mariah May, who signed sometime before the summer, and then to have this storyline build for as long as it built, and then Mariah May turns on her back at the Owen Hart Cup, hits her with the shoe and start beating Toni Storm in the head with the shoe ferociously to the point that where she started bleeding. And the bow ends with Mariah May defeating Toni Storm at All Out, at All In 2024, and becoming the AEW World Women's Champion. Just their storyline, just perfect storytelling of how you can put the veil over somebody's head and just take him by surprise. Not to mention the great character work by Toni Storm. She's the best woman in 2024 to me, and then Mariah May just a bridge onto Toni Storm's character work. Just the way they built this whole story in 2024 was awesome. So that's why I think they deserve a top spot, the top spot in my top 10 countdown. It was a toss-up between Swerve and Hangman, because I think Swerve and Hangman is the greatest feud that ever happened in AEW. But the story so far with Toni Storm and Mariah May, I'll give them flowers for their top spot, because Toni Storm has killed it. I don't got any honorable mentions, really, for AEW. I would say the Hurt Syndicate coming into AEW, the way they're booking Shelton Benjamin so far, Bobby Lashley MVP, awesome. They're getting they're building on what WWE did, which is great. The signing of AEW talent this year, awesome for AEW. Where there's Mercedes Moné, Okada, Will Ospreay, all had impacts on the company. And we're seeing it flourish now at the end of the year, especially with the Mercedes Moné signing. She's having better matches. Her 2 matches with Chris Statlander, her matches with Stephanie Verker, all banger matches. But not surprised with the talent of Mercedes Moné. But she's doing wonderful story work, and she's putting asses in seats, right? So that's what you're there for, man. Will Ospreay is Will Ospreay, and the signing of Okada is just, he's the golden light, literally, in the Elite. Like, he's the only thing, the golden beacon that you can see in the Elite. Whether it's when it's the Butts, Jack Perry, and Okada, I'm specifically there for Okada. Okada has been doing this thing. He had just retained this Continental Classic Championship at World's End over Will Ospreay. And we're getting a teaser with him and Kenny Omega. So we're going to get that in 2025. That's the only honorable mentions I can think of so far. But, man, that's my top 10 moments of AEW. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do, let me know your top moments of AEW of 2024. And I'll see you guys in the next video, man. Y'all take care. Peace out.